Alright, so, if you couldn't tell from the title and from the itinerary, I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite video games slash series and the states they're currently in. Why not start off with World of Warcraft? I mean, it's a game that you see frequently on my channel if you watch my videos. So let's begin. Honestly, Dragonflight fucking sucks. Very much disappointed by it. I thought it was going to be better. I thought Blizzard was going to take the good lessons they learned from Shadowlands and continue to iterate upon that. But instead, they decided to bend over to the community. And, I mean, I've made my comments about the WoW community before. But, basically, they just want an expansion where all it is just raid logging. The reason why Dragonflight has such high praises from the community right now, it's mainly because, you don't have to do anything of the story. You could just log in, raid, and then log off for the week. But as I said in my review of Shadowlands, to me, the dungeons and raids were a lot more fun because you had to delay that. And now that you don't, it kind of suffers for it. And yeah, I know there's the renown, but is that really important if you just have a dragon riding drake, like just the first one you get, or well, technically you'll have like all 5 or whatnot. But it's like you don't need to do all the renown stuff if you don't care about the story. If you don't care about this and that, then it's like you're golden. All you could just do is hit the queue all day, every day. But me, I like a little bit of extra variety when it comes to my WoW. Like, okay, when it comes to Shadowlands, I'm one of the few people who actually enjoyed Torghast. However, the community did not share my sentiment, even after the iterations it made. Or the iterations that Blizzard made to Torghast. It's just not. I don't know why they didn't even think about keeping it like scaled up. Just you didn't. You just got like tower knowledge and cosmetic rewards. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. But they should have kept it going. Just made it scale with level. But there's nothing like that in Dragonflight. Nothing that I have to do before I do the fun stuff. It's a lesson in delayal of gratification. And that's a good thing to have. Like, you need to go through hard stuff before you could have fun. That's just a basic fact if you want to live a good, virtuous life. But what else do I not like about Dragonflight? Oh, right. Yeah, everything is overtuned to high hell. I even made like a forum post just like when I was very drunk one night, just saying it's like everything in this game is fucking overtuned, and because I play a Blood Death Knight, I'm punished or something like that. But yeah, if you don't know, I play a Blood Death Knight, and Blood is the worst tank in the expansion right now, as it has been since at least Battle for Azeroth. But it did have its high moments in Shadowlands, I'll say that. Blood was actually pretty good in that expansion. What else? But it's like, does everything have to fucking, like, take a third off of my health? Does every auto attack have to take a third off of my health when it comes to dungeon mobs? Do I have to, like, why do the timers have to be so tight on content that has been overtuned? And honestly, I kind of realize something now. I think it's the scaling. I think they need to really do something about that. It's just too much. Like, week 1, I loved it. It felt appropriately challenging. Like, obviously, I don't think Blizzard expected people to be doing, like, 20s or whatnot. Week 1, it's like, what happened. And it's just like, there's way too many dungeons that have like 30-minute timers. Like, do you want to know what 30-minute timers were for? Like, they were for dungeons that only had 3 bosses. The other timers, like they were, some of them were on the short end. I'll admit that some of them were on the short end, but it's like now everything is like you really have to do things perfectly. There is no fucking leeway. Like, just because people can like do, like, time the dungeons, like, that's a good thing. If people are timing dungeons, like, it tells me that things are appropriately tuned. Like, things are not one-shotting everybody. Things are not insanely fucking difficult. And I know this rant is like, oh, just get good, Scurvy. But it's like, what fucking point is there in getting good if I'm just going to be stuck doing the same level of key? I don't find that fun. I like to actually progress. And even with the gear from the vault, like, it's not really helping me out all that much. And I'm getting some of my best in slot gear. It's fucking nutty. And I haven't even gotten to the story yet. I'm like, the story of Dragonflight is just so underwhelming. It's like, I mean, I knew it wasn't gonna be as, like, action-packed as, like, Shadowlands was gonna be. Like, or as important to the overall lore as Shadowlands is gonna be, but I also did not expect them to completely butcher it. Like, dragon lore was something that I always found to be pretty cool. I don't think, like, the Dragon Isles need to be a whole fucking expansion. But, I mean, even so, I will say, positive with Dragonflight. I shouldn't be shitting all over it. The world is fucking beautiful. The Dragon Isles is a place that I could just fly around for hours. It's beautiful. They did a really good job with that. But getting back to the story here, it's just like, oh man, it's really, some of the choices they made, it's really not that great. I mean, thankfully they kind of reversed their decision on some of the shit, like how they decided to characterize Rathian in the Waking Shores zone. It's like, they made him out to be a fucking, like, petulant idiot. Like, in front of the almighty Sibelian. And don't get me wrong, I think Sibelian's a cool character, one of the few good ones they actually introduced. But it's like, I don't appreciate them shitting on a veteran character like Rathian. What else? Oh yeah, for some reason, they decided to have, like, fucking non-binary dragons. Like, the idea of that, it's clearly a virtue signal. That's all it is. It doesn't make any sense to the lore on how dragons are named, and yet don't come at me saying, oh, but Scurvy, there are some dragons that don't follow the conventional naming conventions. I know, faggot, I know. But the fucking problem is, they're not doing it out of like, oh, maybe dragons are a little bit different than the mortals. They're doing it to virtue signal. I mean, one of the major characters in, well, to use the Waking Shores again, I'm gonna call her she, because the voice sounds a bit more feminine. Like Major Domo Silistra. It's like, it should be either Straws or Straza, not Stra. Like, good God. Like, literally, they just did that to virtue signal. It's like, oh wow, non-binary dragons, I'm so happy. I'm so happy about that. But also, last bit about the story. It's so fucking predictable. I mean, I've written, like, stories before, not, like, real books, but it's like, I know the structure of a good story. And if I could predict what is going to happen, then it's not that great of a story. I did not. I know in Shadowlands. We're gonna compare it to Shadowlands again. I know they teased stuff like Zareth Mortis, like in 9.1, but it's like it kind of made that kind of teasing made sense. It's like that kind of teasing works, but it's just like there's not enough good twists in Dragonflight compared to Shadowlands. I don't know what else to say. I will say, rather than 10.1, the final boss being a Ridicron, I will say, Sarkareth being the last boss, that was a cool twist. I have my compliments here and there, but I generally just don't like it. Alright, I'm gonna take another shot. Next game I want to talk about, another game that I'm really into, Guilty Gear Strive. So, what are my thoughts on the current state of Strive? Now that Asuka has been released for, oh wow, it's literally been a month since he's been out. That's kind of nutty. I definitely gotta say, it's pretty interesting, especially when you play the game drunk. I get my ass kicked a lot because I play Bedman. I probably should be sticking with Faust until Bedman gets buffed. But I don't know what happened from the time that Bedman came out to the time that Asuka came out. That like Bedman just fucking lose it. You're playing the game on hard mode in lobbies where it's primarily like people who play like very aggressively and play very aggressive characters. 1 second. Alright. As I was saying, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm certainly playing the game on hard mode. Like, I remember just, like, grinding, like, for a few hours in the game, just so I could get, like, a, rating increase. And has not happened yet. I even tried playing sober, see how it was. And turns out, yeah, I still lost a lot. But here's hoping they buff Bedman. I don't know, probably fix up the servers a little bit more. And I think the game is going to be a lot more enjoyable. And honestly, I am looking forward to season 3. Like, I think it's going to be pretty neat. And rumor has it that there's going to be another story chapter. So I certainly want to see how that's being written. I also don't know if Daisuke is going to be fucking things up or whatnot. Also, there we go. Sorry, just had to get the stream replay back here. But I don't know if Daisuke is going to be fucking up the story of that one like he did with Bridget. By the way, if any Guilty Gear players are listening to this, Bridget is a man. Testament is a man. And I believe they actually reversed the Testament retcon. So yeah, and even the characters in the game call Testament a he. So there's that. I have a feeling Daisuke is going to be quote-unquote leaving. And by leaving, I mean fired. Because of the whole Bridget fiasco. It's like, yeah, I'm listening to the Japanese players when it comes to the story of Guilty Gear. Never would I ever thought that whole thing would happen. But yeah. Now, a bit more of a positive thing. This is a bit more of a positive stream after all. Let's talk about one of my favorite games of, past few weeks. And that would be the new Katamari. As you can see, poor Daisy here being rolled up by the king and the prince. Monsters. But honestly, it's just like, it's a game. It's a finished game, a remaster of a finished game that's not botched. And it's just fun. I don't know what else to say. It's just fun. Like, and as you can see, how can this be woke? How could this be trash? I know you have the rainbow, but this is one of the few times where I don't mind seeing a rainbow in a video game because it's not about faggot shit. It's about, you know, rolling people together, get rolled up. You got all these cute little characters right here. Pretty unique design, and it's the first time I saw the cutscenes for, the king's childhood. That's the king when he was around the prince's age. And it's like, I gotta say, that's gonna be the next thing I'm gonna be reviewing. But basically, to summarize my thoughts on it, if you don't want to see the fucking video, is, well, it's fun. It's a fun game. Go buy it on Steam. It's like $40. I also recommend you play the original Katamari. It's good as well. I think we love Katamari. I think it's better in many more areas, but it's still pretty good. So go buy them on Steam and play them right the fuck now. And if you don't, I'm gonna come to your house and fuck it. I am kidding. I'm kidding. I was gonna rax out there. No need to rax out over Katamari. Alright. And now, next thing I'm gonna be talking about is the future. We talked about the past. We talked about the present. Now we're gonna talk about the future. Woo-hoo! Oh boy, if you haven't seen my live reaction to the Nintendo Direct yesterday, it's on my channel. You can just go to the live section and you'll see it right there. I was very much happy about what we got in that Direct. I am a major Mario fan. I loved the series since I was a very young Clementine. Fucking love it. And I have really, really high hopes on Mario Wonder in particular. Why? Mainly because it's an inspired game. It's not like the fucking new Super Mario Brothers series, which it just got so boring. Like, I don't know. Like, after 2, it just got boring. Like, really fucking boring. And now Wonder is making 2D Mario look amazing. It's gonna be fucking amazing. I know it. Like, even people in the Chronic Discord server also say the same thing about this one. It's gonna be amazing. Like, same with the remake of Mario RPG. It's gonna be amazing. Like, how could they fuck it up? Like, from the gameplay trailer, how could they fuck up 2D Mario? I mean, especially one like this, that's inspired and actually has a creative vision and doesn't just use the same locations from the past 2D Mario games. It's gonna be really good. I promise you that. Alright. I'm just going to end the recording of this segment here, and we'll continue on with the next segment.